And it's like a little trophy with a coon with like a dog like on a tree and a raccoons at the top of the tree. It's really funny. And I'm like, well, why did you what put Angela on your radar? Well, she was on the podcast talking about Louis Farrakhan. And I'm not gonna, play it all. You can go find it. You can go watch Vicky's videos are actually on Your Black World, the YouTube channel. If you're watching on the channel, you can just see it's a video that happened earlier today. Um, and basically, she was sort of justifying Farrakhan's dismissal from Facebook by basically repeating that bullshit language about him being dangerous. And and what she referenced was comments about Jews, right? Comments about Jews, and that I think he has a quote about the Jews in Jesus or something on his Twitter page, and she felt that made him dangerous. And I was just sitting there, and I was just thinking, what, and then there's like this point where she says, I need Farrakhan to show up consistent, and I'm like, what the fuck? What you need who to what? Wait, do you know how old Farrakhan is, right? You know he's 80, 84, 85. How old is the minister? He just had a birthday, and I should know his age. I feel like he's 20 years old because I've never seen a man of his age with that much energy. Let me see here. He was born in 1933, so he's 86 years old. I mean, if that ain't consistent, then I don't know what is. And so you're gonna really talk about him like he is a classmate of yours, like y'all on the same goddamn level. Like you really she's like, well, if I could talk to the minister, I'd advise him that the blah blah. You don't need to be giving advice for shit when you're talking to an 86-year-old man who was fighting for black people before your black ass was even on this earth. You wasn't even in a diaper when the minister started fighting for black folks. What advice are you going to be giving him with your white servitude ass? You're a white liberal with black skin. We know that game. We can predict that shit from a mile away. We know what's going to come out of your mouth before it even leaves your goddamn tonsil. So how the fuck you going to tell me you would give advice to the minister? He don't need your advice. He don't need shit from you. In fact, the minister, he's so gracious and he's so mature that I don't think he's ever going to criticize Angela. And I think, honestly, I feel like it's my job to say something on his behalf, to be supportive. What the hell's wrong with you? I swear, and here's what it is. Here's what it is. When white folks pick a Negro and they give a nigga a little bit of power, they start feeling like they really are somebody. Like they really feel like they've arrived. They really feel like they've done something. Like I'm on CNN because white people decided to hire me because I swing my neck at the right in the right rhythm, and I'm the crazy black girl, and they love me because I'm always screaming at Trump and I'm saying what they want to say, repeating their talking points with a ghetto swag to it, and that's why they like me. They like, girl, you so crazy. Shut up, just shut up. We know what we know. That Negro, we know the blueprint. Of that type of Negro, right? We know the blueprint of the elite Negro who's sitting next to white. We know that blueprint, right? You're a power broker in D.C., apparently. I guess you are. You worked with the Congressional Black Caucus. I guess she was the executive director. She's an attorney. She's connected to whoever, Kamala Harris and all these people, so that when they get elected to office, they're going to give her some important position that'll make her feel even better and make her even more of an arrogant prick, and that's what it is. But black folks as a collective are not going to benefit from your model because we know that model does not work because we've seen 3,000 of you already and nobody has moved forward as a result of that. Nothing. There's been no progress in the black community as a result of these chosen Negroes. These people run around with a good nigga sticker. Like literally, you will get a Negro that white folks will pick and pull out of the damn cotton patch and prop him up on a platform, put him on TV, and all of a sudden this Negro gonna walk around like he can go give advice to Farrakhan, or like she can go and talk to people that've been in the struggle for 30 or 40 years. So you saw that when Mark Lamont Hill, Mark is smarter than Angela Rye, but they're kind of both predictable in their own way. But Mark isn't as bad as Angela. It's like when Mark decided that right after Frances Cress Welsing dies, that he's qualified to give his opinion, his criticism of her right after she dies. Shut the fuck up and show respect, man. Seriously, shut up. Just show respect. I went out to where was it? I went out to. Actually, let me scratch that before I tell this story. Let me say it like this. Let me explain it like this. The reason you can tell that the selected Negroes, the ones that are kind of picked out of the cotton patch and put on a platform, the reason that you can tell they've got kind of this uppity nigga-itis, like the guy that's sitting on the plantation next to the master that feels like he's better than all the other slaves. They have the reason, the symptom of this, the reason you can see this happening is that a person like that will say things to a Louis Farrakhan that they would never say to a Bill Clinton or a Joe Biden, right? So the idea that Angela Rye feels that she can go and be disrespectful toward a Louis Farrakhan, I bet your ass that she ain't gonna go say that shit to Joe Biden. I bet your ass she ain't gonna say that shit to Bill Clinton or some power broker in the Democratic Party. I bet she won't do it because she won't feel empowered enough to do that. Right. And that's the difference in mindset between those who are true builders, like a Farrakhan. Farrakhan, the Nation of Islam, they're the ultimate builders. They educate their own children. They create their own jobs. They support each other's businesses. They built a nation. They are a nation. Right. That's the difference between the mindset of builder versus the mindset of the integrationist. The integrationist misinterprets progress to mean proximity to white people because inherently they believe that the white man's ice is colder. So even when they think that they're helping other black people, they say things like, well, I want to help black people because I've now got this important position in the Democratic Party, which makes me I'm still a pretty, they're still pretty worthless for the most part, but they feel impotent. So because they're dressing fancy and making lots of money and living in DC and they're on TV and they really think that that's making a difference in people's lives. But your black ass can't really you ain't built no businesses, you ain't created no jobs. You have not, there are no schools being built that are educating black people because of the work that you've done. None of that. The Nation of Islam, they have a school. It's called the Muhammad University of Islam. I've spoken there on several occasions. Those children are brilliant. Those children will run circles around the children at any private school in Chicago or beyond. Those were amazing. Those young people were asking questions at the age of 14 that I got from graduate students when I was teaching at Syracuse. That's how advanced they are, right? So ultimately, I think that it's okay if you decide that that's going to be your path. If you decide, look, I'm going to be, the lead Negro in the Democratic Party, because maybe one day I can be the next Barack Obama and get a fancy title and not do shit for black people, but do everything for gay people and everybody else, that's fine. And I think that the beauty of Minister Farrakhan is that he's not going to give you a hard time for that. He'll congratulate you on your success or so-called success, whatever you think it is. He's not as bad as me. Like I'll kind of call it for what it is, but he's very gracious about that. But I think that when you start overstepping your boundaries and you start putting his name in your mouth and you start being critical and you start, what's the word? You start co-signing on white racism, toward people like Farrakhan. When you start assisting his enemies and justifying his marginalization, ostracization, whatever, then you got to be dealt with. Somebody got to talk black to you.